Yes, breaking news. Gilbert Verdian from the Quant Network, the head honcho of them all, says he's thrilled to share a major milestone from the team at Quant. Today, we launch Quant Fusion, the foundational infrastructure layer that makes true digital asset interoperability a reality. Fusion brings together a decade of regulated deployments, our patented overledger technology, and insights from working with institutions globally. It securely connects public and permissioned blockchains, eliminating the barriers that have held back enterprise adoption from fragmentation to compliance, scalability, and trust. This is more than infrastructure. Layer 2.5 is the backbone of the next generation of blockchain powered finance. If managing your crypto feels like solving a puzzle, it's time to switch to Decent Wallet. So just a few taps, you can manage, track, and secure your crypto with unmatched ease. And here's the best part. Grab your Decent Wallet at a discounted price by using the referral link below. Don't miss out on making your crypto experience smoother and more secure. Think about the terminology here. Quant, as we know, is the foundation for building on blockchain, and their other slogan is the foundation for digital finance. So is it truly a two-in-one? Well, there's more about this. Let's jump into it. The next page here shows from the Quant Network how they introduce Quant Fusion. Again, the core infrastructure for digital asset interoperability. Today, as in June 30th, marks a significant advancement in evolution of blockchain infrastructure. We are proud to introduce Quant Fusion, a pioneering new infrastructure layer that redefines digital asset interoperability. Built on Quant's interoperability first technology stack of Overledger and foundational patents, which were proven through a decade of real-world regulated deployments. Again, you got to appreciate the whole idea here, everybody, that they took the time to build this out. This wasn't something in regard to just putting something out and seeing what happens to possibly work. They took the structure of patents and put it all together, and it was a long process, to say the least. So Quant Fusion interoperates and accelerates public and permission blockchains securely and compliantly, making blockchains ready for enterprise grade demand. Again, some of these ones that are even part of the old legacy systems, but bringing them into the new era. Fusion dramatically accelerates adoption by solving the key institutional pain points of Layer 1 blockchains, from fragmentation and compliance hurdles to scalability, speed, and security. The other point I want to point out here is all these little snippets. They're really good. This one, which is the top of the list, institutions want to move on-chain, but today's blockchains fall short. Public blockchain networks expose sensitive data, hinder enterprise integration, and complicates security compliance. Permission ones isolate liquidity and create walled gardens. Bridges introduce complexity, vulnerabilities, and operational risk. Fusion solves this. I like the idea that they always have something that solves a problem. That in itself creates value. We understand the whole idea of the Internet of Value, but also Quant with the Internet of Trust. On this part, it mentions that Fusion is underpinned by our enterprise-grade platform, of course the Overledger. They solved interoperability in 2017, but it's how they took it all the way to today, right? Basically in 2025. Speaking of today, they extend that work with a new approach that makes existing networks, native assets, and transactions interoperable and institution ready. Again, institution ready. Everybody else was ready for all this with retail and getting impatient. But the bottom line is the big money. It has to be ready for the institutions. And if anything, we see July 14th coming up here soon. We see some other key things in regards to August and, of course, even September. I just did an outline that's going to be coming out here within the next few hours with Jesse, specifically about September, and of course that's focused on XRP, but in reality it's focused on a lot of things that are utility driven. This other part I want to jump into. Quant Fusion, of course, introduces layer 2.5 architecture. I've done a deep dive about this, but I want to share this with you. I know I'm reading a lot from the Quant network, but this is a major big milestone from Quant, especially today. So again, this was just reported about an hour ago. Quant Fusion introduces layer 2.5 architecture. If you're wondering again what that means, it's a unique and patented multi-ledger rollup that connects multiple layer 1s. I don't want to dismiss this at all, because when we get into this, please understand how many layer 1s there are out there, especially the slow ones, right? Your Ethereum based ones that need rollups, right? Those layer 2s, literally those are rollups. It takes it outside the network. How would you like to have ones that are basically quant, where it's an all-in-one solution for all of these particular ones, where you don't have to go necessarily out of the network and create a layer 2, because they have it all within their architecture. I mean, again, a unique patented multi-ledger rollup that connects multiple layer 1s. So it's not like you need a layer 2 scaling solution. No, multiple layer 1s. Assets and logic flow, I should say, natively across public and private chains. No bridges, no wrap tokens, no compliance compromise. Say what you want. There's so many layer 1 solutions out there, everybody, that wants to keep it within their layer 1 network. So they provide a solution for some of that. I think that is absolutely major. I don't see anybody else doing that. And if you know about that, then by all means share that. That's a major deal. This other one, it's built on two technical foundations. Multi-ledger rollup, back to this whole thing. Our patented technology for execution and settlement across multiple layer 1s in a single network. It merges transparency, decentralized trust with performance, against scalability, security, again, network of networks, modular integration of nodes and chains with granular permissions and native privacy. I mean, this is really, really big, and I love to see the breakdown, because a lot of people have been requesting some of this. They want to see more of the details about why Fusion, of course, is a big deal. And we've been pointing out for a while now, it's going to be any day now. They mentioned that would be in June. Well, literally it's the last day of June, so you can't say they didn't deliver as far as the Quant network. So Fusion unlocks a new class of use cases, of course, for digital assets, seamless interaction between permission and public networks and their native tokens. So we don't dismiss their native tokens at all, right? Trusted access to public liquidity through KYC verified nodes, ensuring, of course, that compliance without sacrificing scale. Elimination of wrapped tokens. I think this part is crucial. Assets from different blockchains can be paired natively in liquidity pools, reducing risk and complexity. Again, not taking it out of their layer 1s. If anything, scaling their layer 1s. That's game changer. It's absolutely game changer. That right there is the #1 selling model of this whole thing of Fusion, at least in my opinion. A unified digital asset model where a single token exists across an interconnected network of networks. That in itself, wow. I mean, wrap your mind around that. This part, issue multi-chain assets underpinned by combinations of underlying assets on any chain. This is why people state that Quant QNT is like the God token, basically. Because, again, over Ledger, just think about that. Over all of these other particular blockchains and their ecosystems and so on, because you have supreme interoperability. And, some people point out like, oh, there's other solutions that provide interoperability. I get that. And they have their own use cases. I'm not knocking some of these projects. But when you think about the true interoperability that Quant Network provides, and you compare it to what they have to the competition, there is really no comparison whatsoever. A few more things I want to get into. Fusion's Devnet is live today. Yes, live today. That's awesome. Would we see some utility put into motion? Well, We should. But again, we need to see some of these regulations get passed, mandates, and so on. But nonetheless, they are primed and ready to go. For me, I think they're primed and ready to go, especially for July 14th. That's a big, big day. Think again, why are they releasing this before some of these key dates? People call it buy the rumor, sell the news. But again, it's the timing here, ladies and gentlemen. Don't you think that's more than a coincidence? So Fusion's Devnet is in fact live today. It launches with this, by the way, Ethereum Polygon Avalanche. And by the way, remember how we talked about some of that interoperability? Again, I like Axelar. I understand what it provides as far as its interoperability layer, but even with Axelar, right, you have the EVM sidechains, especially for solving XRP solution. Again, some of these other blockchains out there, they want their own individual solutions, or they have their own, particular thing they are looking to solve with choice companies that they just want to get done with, and I respect that. But even with Quant, right, they address some of that EVM compatibility. They don't run from that. So you see here, MetaMask, others. Well, think about what Overwallet in itself, institutional type of wallet agnostic infrastructure. And I think, if anything, we should circle back to that at some point. QNT is a native token, of course, for fees. Again, the native token. So many people are still stating that we're not going to use the QNT token. Boom. There you go. Access via Quant Connect account. And again, here's an update in regard to the roadmap. The DevNet is now open for testing by invited users. Speaking of the testnet, launching in weeks for all Quant Connect users, not just some, all. Mainnet launching with real value assets and staking support. And in reality, everybody, we could talk about DevNet, testnet all day long, but mainnets were the big, that's the big deal right there, right? Because we want to see what's happening literally in motion on that mainnet. So for me, that's where I'm going to put a lot of focus. And of course, we'll come out with more updates, collaborations, people I'm networked with, and so on, right? This other part, this one was actually 2 hours ago. I do want to share this with you guys. Fusion is not a white paper concept. I'll state it again, not a white paper concept. It's live infrastructure. That's bullish. Designed for institutions, built for developers, open to community input. And again, some of those people, if they want to check it out, they have all the documentation about that. And there might be some key areas that I might get into. But, I look at so it begins, and people kind of going crazy with this, which is cool. Can you blame them? So thought I would bring it to you guys. Think it's a major deal, and obviously to see this from obviously Gilbert Verdian, I think this is a major deal. And again, just about an hour ago. So that's the news, major news. We're going to break down some of this. We have an X Space tomorrow. Come join us with this brother right here, Sebastian. He is the host of these particular X Spaces. You'll see myself, probably Channing, right? Last week we had Jesse over at Apex Crypto Consulting, but we discussed QNT, HBAR, and XRP for the most part. And I'm sure that QNT will probably dominate the space tomorrow. So if you're wanting to attend this, again, it's hosted by this guy. Give him a follow. Great brother in space. And it's going to be at 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific, and they're basically every other Tuesday. This is exclusive to X, not YouTube. And the cool thing is you do have a platform where you could come on, you can raise your hand, you can ask questions. It's a really interesting space, and we really enjoy doing these particular outlines and whatnot with you guys. So come check it out. Hey, do me a solid if you haven't listened to the entire outline, and simply type in this key phrase, and that is Gilbert the GOAT, as Sebastian would point out, because in reality he really is, right? Gilbert the GOAT, and we'll know that you listened to the entire outline. All right, guys, thanks again for tuning in. We have some other videos for the day, but that was the breaking news. Y'all have a great rest of your day. Over and out.